they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a polio. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these. Cause when I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's top notch.
I got that chicken to go. A lot of these really lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these really lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal of this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
Josh Lambo now ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's able to find Diggs. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
58.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that to come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Handoff comes to Cook. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Three deal. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to wind up, and he's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. That offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Here we go now.
They run again on first down. Cook. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. but when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
And that'll be incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
This is fielded at the 7. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
158.
to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
On first down, Rodgers. And a quick throw here that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Lucy. Check. 380.
First throw now for the backup Bortles. And he whips that one incomplete there. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the second quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot. Because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think what you said, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Bortles coming to the line with his guys going for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trent Murphy in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. On first down, Bortles. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From midfield, here's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
But maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Shotgun now for Bortles. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And a little floater there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Bortles. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
They're going for it with the option right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
On 4th down, you want the ball in the hands of someone you can trust. In this case, it's the quarterback. He saw the defense collapse, kept it himself, and picked up a big first down.
380, 372.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Dancing to his left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Bortles. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Wide open receiver complete, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. They'll set up the throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bailey. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bortles now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A good pickup there, a 22. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Buying time to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. A final shot before half for Bortles. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Third touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone. So they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do, because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. One more half of preseason football to go. And then all eyes will look ahead to 1 week from tonight, the annual NFL kickoff game. And that promises to be a dandy. In our game, the starters are long gone, but still some intrigue. See guys trying to make a late roster push as we get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Bortles now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free.
380. 380.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
380.
Throwing now is Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Bailey. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Green 80!
Again, it's Bortles. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. In for the score. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this second half. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Check 52 to Mike! Check 52 to Mike!
Gun! 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 Gun!
Here's Magoo looking to throw it. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gain of 38 there on third down. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go now. 3.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Green 39.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
319.
They'll set up to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Magoo. Flushed out right. And the ball is knocked out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Green, 39!
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Now let's go!
They'll go option on second down, right side. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Throwing here, Magoo. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, that's 4th, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Catanzaro now for the extra point. And that touchdown there, it's not going to get them a win. It makes things, though, a little more respectable.
Yeah, a little more palatable going out in this ball game. A little something to build on going into the next game, but it won't alter the final score.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 44 yards. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Go ahead, baby. Go.
Gun.
Magoo back to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw is Magoo. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
I know you felt that one.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, there's the option going left. Now a first carry for their fullback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
This is Breida. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Nice move at the 5. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
And that play's one you probably get a little pushback from people. A toss near the goal line, I think they're fortunate that they only ended up with no gain and not a loss.
And the defense strung it out beautifully.
Normally you run more quick hitters in that situation.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal. And they will take a knee here. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.